Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Today we're going to be doing a 45-minute Pilates class for beginners to intermediate. It's going to be lots of stretching at the end with pranayama relaxation work, and the focus today is working our core as a full unit and getting a good burn for some core toning. Let's get started on the mat. I'm going to start in the cat-cow position as we're checking with our spine, untucking the toes, spine to sky, rocking forwards and backwards. Inhale in the cow. Starting off slow as you begin to mobilize and increase the range of movement. Exhale in the cat. Doing less of the cat if you have a desk job or drive a lot. Spend more time in the cow. Moving our hips side to side, looking at each hip, opening that space between the rib and hip, feeling the stretch in the sides. And leaning into the stretch. Good. Okay, we're going to bring our wrist a little bit further away from our shoulder. Left leg extends out, hip height. Just have a check back, make sure it is hip height. Right arm over the top. I'm going to swim that right arm up and down. Exhale as you come down. Inhale to lengthen the spine as the arm comes up. We're going to do a total of 8 to 10. Try and connect to that core. 3, 2, 1 more. Keeping the leg up, returning the hand by your side. Want to pulse that left leg. It's a little bit higher than the hip. We're searching for a warmth above the hip, so we're hitting the lower back for strength. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping the leg up. We're going to come into forearm taps, bringing the elbows all the way down to the floor, coming onto the heel of the hand and keeping that leg up to challenge stability and work the lower back as well. Distributing your weight evenly over the left and the right side. You'll feel it on one arm more than the other, that's normal. Another 5 if you can. 4, 3, keep that, squeezing that bum cheek. 1, good, returning that leg. Coming into child's pose, stretching the arms out, circling the wrists to lubricate the joint. Over to the other side, let's see how we get on. Extending the leg to hip height, rib cage in, abs engaged. I want to swim for 8 to 10 with the left arm now, right leg. Inhale to lengthen as the arm comes over your head and staying shoulder height. This is challenging balance and stability as well as the pelvis and back. 3, 1 more. Keeping that leg up, returning the arm. 10 pulses, a little bit higher than hip height. Good. Squeezing that bum cheek to bring the leg up. Almost straight leg. 3, 2, 1. Coming down onto the forearm for those taps. Onto the heel of the hand. 8 to 10. Don't worry about the depth if you can't get your elbow all the way to the floor. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Returning that leg, child's pose. Well done. Circling off. To start switching the core on, I'm going to come into knee raises. So shoulders down away from ears, bracing the abs, tucking the tailbone under and lifting just off the floor the knees. 2 big deep breaths. One more deep breath. And then we're going to send the hips back into downward dog. And we'll paddle them heels out to stretch the calves. More bend in the knee, the less on your back and hamstrings. Good. Coming back down into the knee plank. 2 breaths. Squeezing the abs, tucking that tailbone under. Then sending them hips back one again. Paddle it out. Good. Turning back down to a cat-cow. One more. Good. Grab a drink if you need one. So we make our way over to the side to start waking up and challenging the obliques, the sides of the stomach. And a deep muscle in the back. So this is a shoulder strengthening and stability exercise as well. Make sure your elbow is directly under the shoulder. And we've just worked the front of the shoulder, so we're targeting again, so we're looking for that burn and trying to ignore the burn. When the burn gets too much, shake off and then back into it for a few more reps. Pushing the hips forward so you're all in one line. Coming all the way up, a little bit higher than parallel. I'm going to shoot the arm over our head for a stretch on the other side. And down. Making sure the top of the hip is touching the floor. So you're getting full range of movement. It's a nice stretch as well. As many as you can, or 12. Good. Make every rep count. Squeeze at the top. 9. Good. Another 2. And then you've got the option to release and rest or hold for 10. With the arm over the head for that stretch. Notice where you're feeling it. And release. Bottom knee comes forward, top knee back for that stretch. Inhale as the arm rises. And exhale as we move over. Pushing the hip down, knee down. Feeling that stretch in the sides of the left side. Whichever side you've just worked. Keep trying to lean over. So you sat upright. Arm ideally over your head. Good. Notice how that felt. I'm going to do that again. So you can double up the mat or get a cushion underneath your elbow if you're doing this at home. Pushing your hips forward. Shooting the arm over your head for another 10 to 12. 7. One more. Option hold or release. 10 seconds. Relaxing the neck. 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Burny, burny on the shoulder. Stretching, arm rises on the inhale. Good. Relaxing your head to your shoulder. Feeling that stretch in your neck as well. Good. Water break if you want one as we move over to the other side. And do the same. Let's see how you get on at this side. This is my stronger side. Pushing the hips forward. If it is your weaker side, just be patient with it. Looking for 12. Five, coming all the way down. Another 2, 1, release or hold. 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Let's get a stretch in. Knee down on this side. And bringing your head to the side, closer to your shoulder. You can look up at your hand as well if it feels all right. Good. Last time on this side. When you're ready, going for 12. Couple more. And hold. Last hold. Squeezing that side of that stomach. Placing the tension of your body weight in that part of your body. 3, 2, 1. Release. Well done. Last stretch. Let's see if we can get a little bit further over on this side now. Just leaning in. Good. Grab a drink as we move over to some isolation work on the core. For building tone, strength, and we'll have a look at teaching the core to work properly as a single unit to protect the back. Okay. Starting with pelvic tilt, so coming down vertebrae at a time, semi-supine. So we've not done these in a while. These are good even if you are advanced, especially if you're doing deadlifts or you've got any niggles in your back. They're a nice safe one to switch the core on and help assist your back. So first of all, anterior tilt of the pelvis, so we can get our hand in that gap, in that curve of the lower back. And then we're going to flatten the curve in the lower back. Open it up, flatten it. So moving the pelvis like this forwards and backwards gets blood flow to the lower back and these surrounding areas. But it also, we're going to switch our core on as you're moving forwards and backwards. So have a poke around, make sure there's tension, and not just the posterior tilt, the flattening, but also the anterior tilt. So squeeze in, think of lifting your hips up off the floor without actually lifting your hips up off the floor to engage that lower core. Make sure you're bracing as hard forwards and backwards. And you should start to get a deep ache. Take your time with it. If it's rushed, then you're going to lose connections. This is also mobilizing the pelvis, and it's doing a bit of a back bend as well, which is good for flexibility of the spine and mobility. Works well with high reps, 20 to 30. We're working a very deep muscle in the core called the TVA, the transverse abdominis, which acts as a corset and holds all your organs in and upright. Works with the pelvic floor. Can you feel a burn yet? It's like a very deep, subtle ache. Just taking your time, another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, arms rise. Getting all the oxygen in, filling them lungs completely, holding full lungs before slowly exhaling for your own count of 4. Again. I'm going to do pelvic tilts again, forwards and backwards, switching the core on, another 20 to 30. So you can keep your hands on, poking around for tension. Make sure it's braced throughout the forwards and backwards. This helps build my muscle connection and how it should feel. You might feel a shake as well as you're overloading the muscle. You're training your core to protect your back when your pelvis is moving like this in everyday life, when you're getting up and down from seating. Another 5. Good. Inhale, arms rise. Pause with full lungs is important, because then you slow exhale through the mouth. Again. Now we've woken up the deep TVA muscle, we're going to work it again. So arms relaxed by your side, legs up in tabletop position. And bringing in a small rock, you're going to try and bring your hips up off the floor. Ribcage stays tucked in, belly button down into spine. No curves in the lower back as you do this exercise. So you're not bringing your legs far away from the body, just enough to build a momentum where you're bringing your hips up off the floor, but you're controlling the down with one vertebrae at a time. So you're curving up and curving down in your lower back. And notice where this starts to burn. Another 10. Because that's where you're working and toning. Do you feel it on your lower core? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release. Inhale, arms rise. Could you get your arms over your head? One more. Good. Same again. These are really effective for the lower core isolation. As many as you can, or 15. Remember, coming down slower and controlled, not letting gravity bully you, pushing your hands into the mat. 10, 9, 8. Good. 5, 4. Is it burning? 3, 2, 1, and release. Good, well done. Inhale, arms rise. Good. I'm going to bring the obliques into the party. So hands supporting the back of your head. Opposite arm to opposite elbow in a bit of a bicycle. But as you hold this position, your leg's going to rise and fall and then swap. Rise and fall, then swap. Playing with time under tension. Total of 10 because we're slowing the reps down. The more you bring that shoulder off the floor and look at the other side, the more of your obliques, the sides of the stomach, you tone and strengthen, giving you that solid core look. 2 more. Good, well done. Inhale, arms rise. Same again. When you're ready, total of 10. Or as many as you can if you need a break. Another 3, let it burn, ignore that burn. This is a warmer. Well done. Oh, as soon as you switch them abs off and relax, that's when you get the biggest burn. Inhale, arms rise. Next, Pilates scissors with a twist. So both legs are as straight as you can get them. This stretches the hamstring as well and strengthens your biceps because you're pulling your knee closer to your nose. But before you swap, pulse, pulse, then swap. Pulse, pulse, then swap. What you're doing here is adding more weight to that lower core, trying to keep your back flat. $15 in total. Good. Another 5. 2. 1. Well done. Whew. Inhale, nearly there. So we've already overloaded the core muscle, so anything that you do from here on is just a bonus, as long as you've been burning. Again, we're going to go for 12 reps this time of the scissors with a pulse. Try and keep that core connection as you pulse, back flat. Six, 5, this is quite a challenging one. 4, 1 more. Well done. Oh. Deep breaths. Knees are up in tabletop, rib cage in, belly button into spine, switch the core on, it's braced. As your knees pulse in, you're going to pause for a squeeze and then release. Back stays flat against the floor, you're not bringing your knees all the way out. Try and lift your hips up off the floor if you can. As you squeeze in, squeeze as hard as you can for that count of 2. Another 5, squeeze. One more. Well done. Oh, inhale. Last exercise next as I begin to wind down. Knees up, ready to go. Last time, squeeze for 10. Hips off the floor if you can. Last 4, 2, last 1, oh. Inhale. Well done, that was quite advanced. Hopefully you got a good burn. And stretch our arms and legs away from the center. Big stretch like you just got out of bed, exaggerating that curve in your lower back. You feel a stretch in your abs as well, might still be burning. Good, bringing both knees in, feet together, and then knees out to the side, natural curve in your back. Just relaxing your knees. If you can't fully relax, try placing blocks on either side of your knees underneath, or you can bring your fists under the top of your thigh just so you're not going as deep, so you're able to relax. Notice if you feel this stretch, this tension in one side of the groin more than the other. So the tightness is. Just trying to relax. Stay here, or you can hold on to your feet, your toes, and rock forwards and backwards. Bring the knees out, curving in the spine for a little back massage. On the back, good. And then return into semi-supine. We're going to shift our hips over to the right, knees over to the left as we begin spinal twist. So both shoulder blades should be on the mat. And you're just settling into this position, getting your body used to it. You're just trying to relax. Every inhale, push the belly out and use the ribs and chest to rise, getting full lungs with the oxygen. And then slowly exhaling out, should bring you into the stretch and release tension a little bit more. So use your breath. It's teaching the brain to just relax. Notice where you feel this stretch in all the areas. These are your tightnesses. If you want to increase the stretch and add more weight to the lower back, extend that top leg and hold on to it with the arm, left arm. Again, relax, deep breaths. And you'll feel the stretch more with every deep breath. Relax your shoulders, your jaw, your forehead muscles, your trunk area, around your lower back and ribs. Just switch off them muscles, allow yourself to sink in to the mat. Allow yourself to feel that stretch in your lower to mid back. You might feel it on your glutes as well and above your hip. You might even feel it on your pec and your shoulder. Two more big deep breaths. Excellent. Bending both knees. And we're going to come back into semi-supine for a moment. And one deep breath as we standardize our body. Bring it back over to neutral. Notice how it feels. You've been stretched on one side. I'm going to shift our hips over to the left now. Knees over to the right. And we're just going to settle in. You might not want to progress this side if you did last time. Treat every side differently with any stretch. Same with the pigeon. Go through your body, surveying anywhere that you're tensed up and just switch them muscles off, relax them. They're there to protect you, but we're nice and warm now. And a lot of tension and tightness is kept in the body from stress throughout the week, or maybe for many years. We keep our trauma and stress in our body. I learned this week, if you're not a talker, you don't talk about your problems, you tend to keep a lot of tension in your jaw as you hold back things you want to say. If you want to extend that top leg and increase the stretch, feel free. But again, shoulder blades should be down on the mat. Allow yourself to feel that stretch. If it becomes too intense, you can come out at any point. Good. Two more deep breaths. Really important one to do this regularly as we get so stiff and walking around, seating positions. Good. Coming over to the knees coming over to the side where your knees are faced. I'm going to come into the pigeon. So make sure first that you're in the center of your mat. And if you feel like you're being pulled off center, that's because your glutes are tight. So have a good bend in the knee first. As you begin to release tension around this area, you should be able to move further into the stretch. Just relax. As long as you're feeling it in your glute. You might feel it here as well if you're tight here. And then if you want to come onto your elbows to increase that stretch, feel free. You can also increase the stretch by bringing that foot a little bit higher. If that feels good, just stay in the center though of the mat. And just relax. Back knee faced forward on the mat. Takes time and deep breaths. Two more deep breaths. Excellent. Carefully taking your time as we swap over to the other side. Getting in the center of the mat first and settle in. The more you do this, the more you realize how tight you are in these areas. If you want to increase the stretch and bring the foot up a little bit higher, feel free. I feel like I'm tighter on this side. And I sit in the middle of your body. Katie, that's amazing. One can only dream. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. She does this every night.
I do sleep on the way.
Deep breaths. Next, we're going to untuck that leg and coming down, which however you're able to safely, carefully onto our bellies. Forehead to hands as we settle in to the beginnings of Sphinx or Cobra. So back bends are really good for those with slip discs in strengthening and mobilizing the spine. So it's good to, and our spine's meant to move like this as well. We do a lot of the cat position, and this is the opposing. So bringing our head off our hands, I'm just going to bring our elbows a little bit closer in, not directly under the shoulders yet, I'm just going to settle in. I just want you to relax and allow yourself to feel that stretch in the base of your back. So you notice any muscles that tense up to protect. Taking your time, just going to try and switch those off. As you get higher up, you'll need muscles to tense up anyway, that's fine, but just in this position, try and relax. Every exhale, sink in and allow yourself to feel that discomfort. It's not painful. If it is, don't go any higher and come out. If that felt okay, go ahead and bring the elbows a little bit closer. So now your elbows are directly under your shoulders. So some muscles will tense up for this, that's fine, like your glutes, the top of your glutes, your back. Shoulders down away from ears, deep breaths.
Exercise ring closed.
Stay here, or you can progress it again into the seal, extending your arms in front of you, squeezing the bum cheeks to protect that lower back, shoulders down away from ears, bending in the elbow, straight at the arms, the higher up you are and the harder it is. Settle in, deep breaths. This is really good for if you're on a sun lounger and you're trying to reach a cocktail and you don't want to get off. And then if you want to progress further, you can go into the cobra. Good elbows bent into the ribs. This is quite a difficult one. I feel it quite intense. Squeeze your bum cheeks. 2 deep breaths. Good. Coming back down. Putting your forehead to your hands for 2 deep breaths. Notice how your back feels now. Feels like a nice stretch has taken place, hopefully. Then we're going to move into a child's pose. So hips come up first, shifting them back into child's pose. Knees together. Take your time, because you've just bent one way, now we're counteracting. Head to floor if you can, as we bend the spine in the other way. Excellent. I'm going to come into Shavasana, corpse pose. Or if it's more comfortable to be in semi-supine for your back, as it's protected as the back's against the floor, feel free. Otherwise, palms facing the sky, away, arms away from you, as we settle in to Shavasana. Deep breaths, observing your breath and how it feels as it's entering the body, and on the exhale. Just observing your natural course of your breath. Feeling the weight of your body in the mat. Every time your mind wanders into what you've got to do or what's happened this week, just bring it back to the breath and how that feels in your body. And if you're breathing correctly, it's the anchor of the mind, keeps you present and helps you calm down. On the inhale, breathing in through the nose, your belly will rise, then your ribs, then your chest in those stages. And on the exhale through the nose, a count of 4, the chest will fall, then the ribs, then the belly will empty. So stage 1, 2, 3, that's yogic breathing. It's very calming. And it can kickstart the parasympathetic nervous system, the one that's your rest and digest system. It helps you sleep. Notice the cool air as you inhale through the nose. How does your body feel as it's resting on the mat? Feeling the weight of your heels. Visualize what your toenails look like. Do you have your toes painted just now? Which direction are your feet pointing? How do your ankles feel? Body's feeling heavy. Feel the backs of your calves on the mat. And your hamstrings and your glutes and the weight of your pelvis as you sink further into the mat, as you let go of the tension. Deep breaths. How do your shoulders feel on the mat? Are your palms facing the sky? The backs of your elbows on the scratchy floor or the mat? Relax your facial muscles and your jaw. Have a space between your teeth. Relax your eyes and your forehead. And imagine your head resting on a soft velvet cushion. You're just totally relaxed as your body becomes a heavy weight. I want you to visualize somewhere that's relaxing to you, and what smells do you smell there? Is it a warm environment? Is there anybody there with you? Imagine walking barefoot in this nice, relaxing place. How does the floor feel on your feet, on your toes? And every inhale, I want you to think of something positive about yourself and what you've achieved this week, no matter how big or small. Maybe somebody you've helped or something you've felt, maybe accomplishment. Maybe it's just been getting out of bed or doing a bit of tidying, something that you felt that was difficult to do but you did it anyway. And every exhale, push yourself away from any negativity, anything that's bothered you this week, anything that's been said to you, said about you. It's not you. You're pushing yourself further away from that. You should be really proud and grateful that you did this Pilates class and you spent time on yourself and your body. It's an investment into your health in the future as well as now. Something to be very proud of. It's very easy not to come. On the next inhale, I'm just going to take your time and come up into a seated position to practice some pranayama. Or you can lie there, feel free to lie down still if you're enjoying the Shavasana. And we're going to practice alternate nostril breathing. So bringing our hands into a mudra, or you can just rest them on the backs, your backs of your forearms on your knees. Sitting tall, shoulders down, away from ears. And imagine you've got a golden cord that's attached to your crown of your head and it's pulling you up to the sky and you're sitting tall, chest proud. Shoulders pinned back. We want to take our right hand and on the exhale, we're going to close over with the thumb, the right nostril. We're going to completely exhale through the left. Then inhale through the left. Switch over, close the left nostril and open the right and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Cross it over. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Keep going. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it over, swap over. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it over. Namaste, thank you very much for coming this morning.